On November 28, 2025, the Lakers played the Mavericks at Crypto Arena in Los Angeles. And as the game was going on, a photographer took a photo of our girl, Meg the Stallion. You're looking at the photo right here. And of course, this particular photo went viral because I didn't even know who the hell this was until I really looked at it and I understood that, oh, that kind of looks like Meg.
Bruh, they trying to say this is Meg the Stallion at Klay Thompson Dallas game tonight. Hell nah, Bill, who that is, bro? That don't look like Meg the Stallion. See, this is what happened when they had me cutting up their face so goddamn much to the point you can't even recognize who the hell they used to be. The hell is this, man?
Woo! Now, guys, this is interesting because this was the same thing that we saw with Glorilla and her facial reconstruction and how she's looking different. And now people are starting to notice this with Meg the Stallion. I've looked at certain medical professionals who basically evaluate facial reconstruction changes. And when I started typing in Meg the Stallion, this is what I found.
Things that I do think she's had done though is some microblading to her brows and some veneers. And then in going through some of her videos, she's talking, but there's not a whole lot of animation going on her forehead. So I think that she probably gets regular Botox to her glabella and her frontalis.
So again, this is interesting because Meg the Stallion was trying to say that she did not have these changes. And this is no different from what you see with Glorilla, with Meg the Stallion. They said that they don't have these changes, and then of course they have these changes. And when I see the women in the comment sections of these videos, some may be critical, but many are supportive. Many of these ladies feel like, hey, they look very well, they look good, you know, go ahead girl, get that money, go ahead girl, improve your looks. And of course, in the case of Glorilla and Meg the Stallion, these particular changes have allowed them to get NBA boyfriends. I mean, again, in Meg the Stallion's case, she's dating Klay Thompson. But I wanted to evaluate something. Would this be acceptable for men? Now, as women are getting the bag, I'm starting to see a lot of this going on, where there's BBLs, facial reconstruction, obviously the hair, things that women are doing to improve their aesthetics and their personal appearance. But I've noticed something. When men are trying to improve their personal appearance, it's always laughed upon, right? And I've noticed this when it comes to, let's say, what you're seeing now with the height replacement theory. Now, don't get me wrong. I've noticed that this has occurred with certain situations.
I'm Denzel Siggers, I'm 27 years old, and I spent $100,000 on limb-lengthening surgery. They break your bones surgically, they cut them, and they attach devices that extend the bones over time. There's a metal rod in my leg, and then there was an external fixator that attaches to the metal rod going through your leg. So you have both an internal device and an external device.
Now, this is a weird one because this is like to the extreme. I've seen certain men get the height replacement thing, and they go to surgery to extend their bones to become taller. Now, this is important because when I see men doing something like this, I'm almost for certain hearing men getting roasted. You know, I'm hearing men getting talked about, men getting like, oh, that's lame. And it's not just from just guys, obviously, but I see certain comments like this from women. But at the same time, what you typically hear from guys who do this is what?
I hate short guys, I don't care. Shorter than me, I hate them. Like, I mean, people are gonna be, oh, you're fat, blah, 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 blah. I can lose weight. You can't change your height. So, I don't know why people even deal with short people like, ah!
Woo! Now, this is a lady who is a BBW, and she's talking about how she is hating on short guys. Now, the point that I'm trying to make here is Meg Thee Stallion, Glorilla, they can easily work on their appearance. Makeup, facial reconstruction, weave, all of these things. Yet you have a lady like her who is overweight or a BBW, and she can then talk about how she doesn't like short guys. But at the same time, if these short guys want to improve their height, something is wrong with these men, right? They're lame for doing that. Like, how could you do it? And this is the same conversation when you talk about black men and talking about the advantages that women have when it comes to weave. You know, when you talk about black women and extensions, you talk about black women and their ability to wear their hair. It's like almost, it's a non-negotiable. Women feel that black men have no absolute chance to even talk about a black woman's hair. But I saw this video from this guy and he really exposed something that was crazy.
So you want me to wear my hair natural?
Yes.
Man, that's too much. Like, I don't want to be dealing with all the naps and stuff every day. Like, sometimes I just want to be able to switch it up, wake up, put my wig on, and walk out the door. What is so funny? I don't understand why they always laugh at me.
Now, this is a guy going around with a wig on, and he's talking to these women, and at the same time, you know, a lot of these men are feeling bad because, you know, their hair is balding, and even though it's a joke, he has a wig on, and he's telling them, like, you know, he doesn't want to do the things that they should be doing, taking care of their hair, and they start laughing because now they see the same hypocrisy that they use for wearing these things that inherently make them look better on the outside, but at the same time, they criticize these men for wanting to use the same technologies or the same advances to make themselves look better. And that's the key thing that I'm noticing with all of this. When women get into money or into fame, and if they're not as pretty, they can use all of these things to their advantage. Not even just makeup or weave, like literal reconstruction surgery, BBLs, things like that. Men have no real opportunity to improve their looks. I mean, outside of working out, but let's say, for example, if you're short, you really can't improve that unless you want to go through height surgery. If you're a person with a dusty hairline like me, you can go ahead on and get a new hairline if you like to, but then that won't work. And let me kind of get on to that too, because, you know, you have some men out there who are getting hair transplant surgeries and stuff like that, right? And women have talked about these men in the worst way. You have this guy, as you can see, he was balding and he went and took care of his hairline and now he got braids. But a lot of women look down upon this, right? This is something that's important. And then what you can hear is women actually requesting what men should do with their hair.
Y'all, I just seen a dude with waves, and it just reminded me how, like, you really don't see dudes with waves no more. Like, can we bring waves back? I love, like, if I see a dude that has waves, it gives cleanliness, it gives skincare routine, it gives take care of themselves, it gives take their vitamins. But when I see a dude with a fro, especially one that ain't got no type of shape or no type of products in it or nothing, it really give dirty booty to me. It give holes in the drawers, it give stain in between the crack part. Like, I don't know, I just feel like men in hair, it just no.
This lady is saying, listen, we need to see you black men go back to waves again. And I thought that was interesting because, yeah, I used to have some waves back in the day, trying to struggle and get it. The problem is that my hairline is so down bad, only like a certain part of my hair could even have waves. So you can't even wear that. And women might think that, you know, is sexy. And for a lot of guys that are, you know, 35 or 40, you can't even get waves anymore. And so, well, if you can't get waves, you're down bad, you're balding, you're down bad, you're short, you're down bad, you're broke, you're down bad. And then women can just go ahead, if they're bald or whatever, just get any kind of thing that will make themselves look better and everything is okay. And at the same time, if the men are not like naturally good looking, if the men are not like naturally tall, if the men are like naturally not smart and rich, then you have these women who have all of these advantages, Botox and all of that. And these are the ladies that, if they can get this stuff, are calling the same average guys who are not even competing with the same technology, Number 1, ugly. Number 2, broke. Number 3, dusty. I just thought that it was really crazy. The fact that Meg the Stallion can get praised for just changing her look and turning into somebody else all the time. And then if a black man comments on the fact that, yo, you're changing yourself too much. Whoa, you're changing yourself too much under the knife, like something is weird with that. You will get women literally saying, shut up, keep your mouth over black women. That's not your job. Don't talk about what we're doing. But at the same time, those same ladies will go around and talk about how you're ugly, you're unattractive, you're too short, you're too fat. And then if you want to fix those things, you're not a man for having your hair. Like, why don't you get normal braids? But then what if you can't get normal braids? What if you are like balding like me and you don't want to do a hair transplant? And if you get a hair transplant, then all of a sudden that's not real, because that's not manly. It's not manly for you to fix your issues. I mean, I know you've seen some of these guys like with the BBL abs and stuff like that, and women be clowning them. So like, what advantages do men have if you want to improve yourself? You can only work out and exercise, and that will deliver a certain amount of results. But what women don't understand is that what makes them insecure that they can fix right away with some of these aesthetics and surgery and stuff like that, men also go through some of the same issues. I know of plenty of men who are in their 40s, hairline is down bad, and they really want to get that fixed. It's like really bothering them. For me, my hairline been down bad for a long time, so it doesn't really bother me as much. But I know so many men that it really bothers them, like that their hair is gone and they really wish that their hairline could come back, and how much it would make them feel if they could access the same sort of things that, you know, like Meg would do if they can improve themselves. And some guys go to Turkey, but then some guys don't do it because they don't want to be like laughed at for doing it. You know, they don't want to be roasted up for doing it. But meanwhile, you have these ladies like Meg the Stallion and Glorilla are like literally improving their dating options by using technology. So the question is, like, for guys who are so-called ugly, what would their situation be if they decided to use the same things and women found out about it? How mad would women be if dudes like literally were out there getting like BBL abs or like different hairlines and installs? If dudes could change the way that their nose look, if dudes could do the same stuff, would women call that fake? Would women call that phony? I think that they would, right? And I think that what you're seeing now is a lot of men are tired of being held to this particular standard by women who are not holding themselves to that same particular standard. And that's one of the problems in the dating market. Like, you have women who have all of these advantages and then holding men to a standard that a man typically cannot reach unless he's the top 20% of all men. And this is a problem in the dating market. Like, again, women can fix themselves like quickly within a year if they have access to cash, and it would take a man so much work. And he would have to be rich. He'd have to be smart. I mean, there are so many things that need to go right for a man to be at the top 20% of all men. And with Meg the Stallion, I mean, it could just happen like within that time. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, Oshay Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Jump. For all the discarded bell, we're out.